the Signs of Redevelopment Commission meeting for Monday, January 25th at 6:30. This public meeting will be conducted pursuant to Governor Eric J. Holcomb's Executive Order 20-52 and Governor Holcomb's exercise of his powers under Indiana's Emergency Management and Disaster Law, Indiana Code 10-14-3. Additional information regarding the meeting is provided in the annex published with this agenda. So thank you all for joining us today. I'd like to call to order the meeting. Roger, we may have some attendees that would like to be recognized. If you could maybe get a roll call on those that might be in the audience.
Thank you. Those attendees, if you would like to be recognized for the record, across the bottom of your screen, you will see an icon to raise your hand. If you could do that, please, at this time, we will acknowledge you. We have Sally Zalonis, Tom Housley, Matt Price, Kimberly Hubbard, Bob Harris. And I do recognize a few other names of the grant applicants, and we will introduce them as we get to their presentations. Thank you.
Great. Well, thank you. So the first order of business for our new yet returning commission is election of officers. Wayne, can you lead us on that, please?
Certainly. You're looking for president and vice president, and secretary. Your position of treasurer statutorily is fulfilled by the town's chief financial officer. So this group is free to move forward with the elections as it seems appropriate.
Okay. Do we have any volunteers for president of the commission for this year? I'm more than happy to serve again. However, I do encourage anyone else that has any interest to volunteer as well. And I'm more than happy to play a supporting role if you all desire.
Sanjay, you do such a great job.
The intent is to do a good job and not get reelected. I'm more than happy to. If that's all you, if you all would prefer, I'm more than happy to continue serving for another year as you all continue to get your feet wet with the board, and then we can make some changes on the flip side.
So I don't know if you'll entertain a motion to just continue the slate from last year into this calendar year.
Is that specific enough, Heather?
Yeah, that's absolutely appropriate.
Okay. So
Okay, I'll second that motion.
All right, so we have a motion and second to carry on with Sanjay Patel as president and Ket Ezra as vice president of the 2021 RDC board.
And then Kate as your secretary.
And Kate as secretary. Roger, could you do a roll call for us, please?
Yes, sir. Ms. Hiddle?
Yes.
Ms. Madrick?
Yes.
Mr. Ezra?
Yes.
Ms. Swanson?
Yes.
Mr. Patel?
Yes, thank you. Motion
Thank you.
carries 5-0. All right. So we have our state report from Wayne, I believe. I will say I visited the Hotel Tango on Saturday for the first time, and very impressive, very impressive. And they were busy, nicely spread out. Everyone had their masks on appropriately, and you know, we had a little foretop with family, and worked out really nice. So
That's great.
Excellent. No, it turned out very well. Certainly compliment to the whole team there, and certainly this group as well. You played a vital role in the support of the project with the grant that was awarded, and actually we'll look to distribute those funds. The last of the funds were distributed just today based upon the satisfaction of all the criteria. From the report, I'll just read from the screen here. Certainly Hotel Tango wrapped when this report was written. We were still wrapping things up. Certainly the AES project, no movement there. The medical building as well wrapped up that project there. ARIA these are all projects that are wrapping up. At Blackacre, still no update to offer you. Appaloosa Crossing, certainly the update this evening from the petitioner's representative will be certainly helpful to you. And certainly Creekside Corporate Park with the Ray Hall, Letterman, Lanigan closing. We're looking to see that happen here in the next 30 to 45 days, working on some final details. You will see that on the Plan Commission's agenda is a discussion point related to the access point, one of the access points. There's an interest of having a direct access to 106th Street for the car haulers. Originally, that wasn't a needed idea. There were going to be some relying on some access to Bennett Parkway that has not come to fruition as they were anticipating. Therefore, the development plan will be amended, and that discussion will be with the Plan Commission on February 2nd. With that, the Creekside Corporate Park is moving forward with just additional activity, including land management, mowing services, and snow plowing as it's needed. Other than that, that's the report for this evening, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Okay, great. Do you have any questions for Wayne? All right. Hearing none, thank you, Wayne. Old business, we need to start off with approving and adopting minutes of our last couple of meetings. So I'll start with the November 23rd, 2020 regular meeting. Any questions in regards to the meeting minutes that were included in your packet?
I'll move that we approve the November 23rd, 2020 regular meeting minutes.
Okay. We have a motion. Do you have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Thank you, Cindy. Any questions regarding the minutes? I'm here. Roger, can you do a roll call for us, please?
Yes, sir. Mr. Patel,
Yes.
Ms. Hiddle, Ms. Hiddle.
Colleen, oh, I think we lost her on the,
All right, we'll come back. Ms. Madrick,
yes.
Ms. Swanson,
Yes, I approve.
Mr. Ezra.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. Thank you. Moving on to the minutes of our December 11th, 2020 special meeting. Are there any, that were also included in your packet of information? Are there any questions in regards to the minutes? This was primarily conducted to approve some of the CDC grant recommendations that came through in early December. Hearing no questions, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move that we approve the minutes from December 11th, 2020 regular meeting.
It's a special meeting, but yes, thank you.
Special meeting, sorry.
I second.
All right, a motion and a second. Great. Roger, could you do a roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Ms. Madrick,
Yes.
Ms. Swanson,
Yes, I approve.
thank you. Mr. Ezra,
Yes.
Mr. Patel.
Yes, thank you. Motion carries 4-0. All right, great. Thank you all. Appaloosa Crossing update. I believe we have a couple of representatives in the audience. Roger, if you could advance them.
Yes, I'm promoting Tim Berry and also Becca Zakowski. And I will keep my eye open to see if Colleen joins us.
Okay. Do we need to add Matt Price or Bob or any of the partners here?
Matt and Bob are both available. I can add them now.
All right. Okay, there's Matt.
There's Matt.
There's Colleen.
Welcome back, Colleen.
Sorry. I did hear the vote and I did say yes, but you couldn't hear me. Sorry.
No worries.
Mhm.
Are we going directly into the financials for Appaloosa Crossing, or Matt, do you need the floor for a quick update for the commission? How would you like to roll with that?
Mr. President, I would be happy to proceed however you see fit, and I think it might make some sense for me to give a brief overview first, but I'll leave that to your discretion.
I would agree. I think that'd be
See
great
everybody.
for the overall commission. I mean, you and I have met, but I think for the benefit of everyone else, that'd be good.
Absolutely. And would it be possible, Roger, for me to share my screen real quick, because then I could share a graphic.
Yes, sir. Down at the bottom of your screen, you should have an icon to share screen.
Okay. Yep. Let me see if I can do this real quick. Do you see that?
Not yet.
Okay. I got to do one other step, I think, here. Sorry about that. How about that?
There you go.
It's coming up.
Very good. Sorry about that. Right when I think I've gained some alacrity with the Zoom exhibits, I show that I don't really yet. But first of all, my name's Matt Price, and I'm the attorney for Appaloosa Crossing and the owner of that project, which is the Harris FLP. And Bob Harris is on the Zoom call with us. We were asked to give an update of the progress that we've made relative to the project, and I thought I would do that with reference to the site plan, which is an active document and reflects kind of the ongoing progress we've made with the project. To orient you, the very top of the screen, the road that's going kind of horizontally there is Michigan Road at the top, and then on your right is County Road 300, or 146th Street, if you will. And so what we've been able to do over the last several months is receive approval, and I'll move kind of from north to south along 421. Last spring, we received approval for the retail shops, which is the approval that was in April 15th of 2020. We kind of hit the pause button on that because we were approved kind of in the midst of the initial lockdown. I'll come back to that, more on that in a minute. But we proceeded with projects on both Outlot H, which is a fueling center and is scheduled to file hopefully in the next couple of weeks for Plan Commission approval. We have a pending approval for the 21st Amendment, which is on Outlot I, which is the first outlot south of the main access drive. And then back in November, we got approval for a medical office building, which is the last building kind of on the south end of the project. Those are all commercial developments and all would generate new tax increment within the project. I'm excited to announce that with regard to the retail shops, we are now at a point where we've essentially achieved 90% occupancy with regard to those retail users. And we are going to take our finger off the pause button and proceed actually with all due haste to go forward with that retail portion of the development. That's all something that's happened really within the last week or so as far as being able to make that announcement. We've been working on it very consistently, but it's great great progress in terms of seeing retail coming back to life. And I've noticed that that is the case really around our market over the last month. As a reminder, it is not investment that will generate increment, but as a reminder of what we looked at momentarily last year, the interior of the project, where you see the area inside the red lines, is planned to be a senior housing community. You may recall back from, it's been a little while, but back from our May Redevelopment Commission meeting, we were looking at the possibility of TIFing that area through a mechanism that allows age-restricted communities to be TIFed. And I would say we ran that issue aground and determined that that was not an avenue that the town leadership would like to pursue, leaving us with the commercial development. In total, the commercial development will generate estimated over $22 million in new assessed valuation. The development of the residential piece, the empty nester community, is another 30 plus million. It will not be TIF, so it just flow through to the underlying taxing districts, and do so in a way that will be of benefit to those taxing districts, while the commercial perimeter can be used to pay for debt service obligations, to help pay for some of the infrastructure costs relating to the project.
Matt,
I think I'll kind of leave off there.
No, thank you for that update. Just for clarification, the residential piece has been called senior living first, and then when you referred to it again, you called it empty nester, but prior to that, you almost said assisted living. So please provide some clarification on what exactly that model is.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. There really isn't any doubt about it. It's empty nester. So these would be single family detached homes. It's the exact home style that you'll see north of the St. Alphonsus Church. And I apologize. That was just a brain freeze on my part to say assisted living. I don't know why I said that, but it's not assisted living.
I just want to make sure the group knew what's the product there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. We've been working through some of the details relating to the estimated increment and the size of a potential debt issuance over the last several months. And I think that's what Tim and his team may be presenting on, but I'd be happy to answer questions that you may have about the development itself.
Thank you, Matt. Any questions for Matt? Okay. Well, I guess we can jump over to the financials. Will it be Tim or Becca?
I'll
It's going to
taking
be
this.
Becca, but I wanted to just ask Matt if he could confirm what the official request is in dollar amount from the developer and what you're looking at for. And then we'll go through the financials, or Becca will go through the financials actually.
Yep. Our request is for the, give you the precise amount. We had looked at, you may recall, two kind of sources and uses of funds with projected increment and debt service coverages. And our request is for a project fund equal to the 3.316, so $3,316,000.
Great. Well, I will give an update for Crow. We've reviewed the timeline and the proposed development and have estimated TIF revenues that are expected to be generated from the investment. We sent around a draft financing scenario to Wayne and team, assuming that it's a developer purchase bond structure where the TIF revenues generated from the project would be used to make debt service payments. The estimated TIF revenues are expected to meet the developer's requested dollar amount over the life of the bonds. Although there will be a shortfall in the first 5 years, which can be made up by a surplus of revenues expected in the latter years of the bond. And that would be something that would be agreed upon in the term sheet or financing agreement when it comes to that. The term sheet, as the term sheet is worked on and finalized, we will certainly refine some of the details of the finance scenario and determine the actual bond amount and can report that back to you. That's kind of where we stand right now as far as a financial update. I can take any questions as well. If Tim has any input, he can. Good.
You answered it, Becca.
Okay.
Matt, were you looking at the 3,316,000 inclusive of soft costs, or is that the amount you were looking at for project costs? Project costs. Okay,
Sorry, you read my lips. Project costs, yes.
I did.
That's a veteran Zoom caller.
I believe, Heather, the last document you sent out had it minus the soft cost, correct?
That's right. Yeah, which was in line with the numbers that Crow put together. So I think now that Tim and Becca know that, they can update their financials accordingly, and then I'll update the term sheet to reflect those changes as well. And Matt, once the Zionsville team signs off on the changes to the term sheet, I'll shoot you over a red line so you can see the proposed changes.
Great, thank you very much.
Yeah, sure.
Anyone from the council have questions regarding the term sheet or this?
Would it be helpful if I went over the steps that we'll need to complete the financing after we have an agreed upon term sheet? If not, I certainly don't want to waste your time.
That'd be good, Heather. Thank you.
Okay, great. So once we are all on the same page and everyone signed off on the term sheet, then it takes about 60 to 90 days to get through the process. And that really depends on meeting dates, when the paper publishes, those sorts of things. But we'll need to publish a notice of public hearing of the Economic Development Commission 10 days prior to their hearing. After the Economic Development Commission meets, then we will go to the council for the council to introduce and adopt a bond ordinance, which will approve all the financing documents. And we'll also need this body to meet to adopt a TIF pledge resolution, pledging the TIF to the repayment of those bonds. So those are the sort of high level public official actions that will need to be taken. And then we will negotiate a bond purchase agreement, which will be one of the documents that's approved by those bodies. And once that bond purchase agreement is executed, then we'll close about 2 weeks after that. And I'll put together a timetable that lays out all of those steps with dates so that everyone can see that. Just seems a little premature to do that now until we all are signed off on the terms.
Matt, do you see any concerns from the developer end in terms of that timeline or the ability to meet the requirements of the bond?
I don't. I know we completed certain infrastructure along Michigan Road. If you drive by there, you can see some of the drainage improvements and road improvements have already been made. And our plan is to, proceed with kind of a second phase of infrastructure. But that general timeline, I think, would work very well with our own plans.
Good. Good. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, Becca. Any questions for Becca or Heather in regards to this TIF area? Nope. Any questions for Wayne regarding the TIF area?
Well, if I may, we've had, considerable discussion here at this forum and outside this forum. And I would just like to simply say for the record that I'm very excited about the news that Matt has given us tonight. And I really appreciate all the work that Tim and Becca and their team have put into this as well. So I would just like to add my thank you to various other comments to all the folks involved, Bob and Matt and all their team as well. So thank you.
Thanks, Mike. All right, Matt, thank you for the update. We'll move on to
Very
new
much.
business.
Yeah, it's great to see everybody.
You too, Matt. All right, so new business. We've got 5 grant recommendations from the Community Development Corporation, and I believe we have business owners or representatives of business owners online to help us understand their need and approval of the recommendations from the CDC. If you could start with No Label Studio. I need to pull up the thing.
I've promoted Rhea White. She's joining us. Rio, are you there?
I am here. Hello.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you all doing?
Doing well.
Good.
Well, welcome, and appreciate you spending some time with us this evening, and also your time with the CDC in terms of your request for the available grants that the town has. We as a group, we just like to get to know, your business and your need a little more. And you can keep it as brief or as detailed as you'd like. So the floor is yours, Rhea.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the opportunity to speak on this and for the whole opportunity. So I am the owner of No Label Studio. It's a hair salon here in Zionsville. We are a smaller salon right now, but growing rapidly. We are requesting the funds just for, during COVID, the shutdown. This is the first time that my industry has experienced something like this. Most of us have experienced anything like this. So waiting and not knowing what was going on, being completely shut down since we were a non-essential business, it definitely put it was hard to bounce back from that and continue to do the same things that we were doing before with no income coming in. So we did get a little bit behind on our product purchases, on, having to provide PPP now, having to, get new employees so that way we can make sure that we're functioning and flowing correctly with taking the proper PPP measurements with disinfecting, things like that. So we are just requesting the funds to just kind of play catch up. I want to make it clear that my business is growing, like I said, very rapidly. We're a good investment because we are not going away. We are thriving. It's just being shut down for so long did put a damper on continuing to get ahead. With us being so new, we've continually been expanding with employees and products, and the more funds that come in, the more we're able to get better quality things. And so this is just part of growing as a business, and we have a plan. If we were to encounter another shutdown, we've made sure that we can adapt to any type of situation that we're thrown into so that we will continue to thrive no matter what. We have a business plan that we had provided to the CDC, just showing examples of how we continue to still have an income, just, significantly less than what it was barely anything, but we still did continue to stay open and do what we could during the shutdown. And if that were to happen again to us or in any other situation, we would find a way to continue to do business in other ways. So I've thought of every type of scenario that could come at us, and I know that we would continue to do well and be someone that adapts and changes well and just takes it as it comes. And we've been continuing to grow so fast. So we're blessed to be in this situation, but we do need a little extra help just from the shutdowns. So that's kind of where we're at.
Great, thank you. And I do appreciate the detailed information you did provide with your CDC application. It's good stuff.
Yeah, thanks.
Do you happen to know where your customer base comes from? I know one of the other businesses in the village had looked at some credit card zip code information to help them gather, how many customers were from Zionsville, from
Yeah. Oh yeah, we definitely know that. So we have a social media management team that tracks our social media, and that's where we're gaining, I would say 99% of our business. And it's coming from pretty much high 90s come from Zionsville. So most of our business has been built from a Zionsville website that's on Facebook. We track that thoroughly, and when people come in, we ask them, how were you referred, or how did you come in? And I would say 9 times out of 10, it's coming from our Zionsville Facebook page, and then referrals from Zionsville. I live in the village, and so 2 of my employees also live in the village. So I grew up here. One of my employees grew up here. Another employee did dance class. So we're born and raised in Zionsville. So this is kind of where our heart's at. And this is what we're attracting, is the Zionsville clientele. More 35 to 55 women of Zionsville is what our target is. It's where we get our business, and it's where we want to keep our business. We do have some from, other surrounding cities that, Carmel, Westfield, Geist. I mean, we have some clients that are really far away that just found us and come to us, but Zionsville is really where our heart's at, and Zionsville is really what we're attracting.
Okay, great. Any questions for Rhea in regards to her business and a request for the grant? Okay. Hearing none, the requested amount is $10,000, and the CDC's recommendation was for $10,000.
Colleen will make a motion
Motion.
for
I'll
the full
second.
10,000.
Great. Motion and a second from Kent. Roger, if you could do a roll call, please.
Yes, sir. Mr. Patel,
Yes.
Ms. Matrick? Sorry, you were on mute, Colleen.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Hiddle?
So that was me just now. I think it was Cindy that was on mute.
Yeah, I said yes too.
Ms. Swanson?
Yes.
Mr. Ezra?
Yes.
Great. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Rhea. Congratulations.
Oh, I'm just thrilled. Thank you so much. My staff and I are just so blessed for this opportunity. We really, really, really appreciate what you guys are doing. I'm like about to cry. So I'm so happy. Thank you so much, you guys.
Have a good evening.
You too. Bye.
I think
We'll now promote.
Kim Hubbard with Kimberly's Hair Design.
Yes. Kim, are you there?
I'm here. Good
Wait.
evening.
Good
Can
evening.
you hear
How are you?
me?
Yes,
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
absolutely. Welcome. So we're in receipt of your request to the CDC for a grant. Your request was for $20,000, and the CDC has recommended $10,000. If you could tell us a little bit about your salon and what you would use the funds for.
Okay. First of all, when I asked for the 20, I had no idea what I was asking for. I just kind of went through and looked at what my plans were as far as my business and then our business laws. So anything would be appreciated. Even 10,000 would benefit the salon. So in saying that, I've been a stylist for over 30 years. I've been in Zionsville for over 22 years. This is my fourth salon in Zionsville. And during the COVID shutdown too, I also started a group called the Indiana Stylists United. We now have 4,600 members all over Indiana that I have mentored and helped through the COVID and unemployment and things like that. They are cosmetologists, they're stylists. So I've been hard at work trying to do continue growth in my salon and keeping our head above water and things like that. But I've also been helping stylists throughout the state. So I've been pretty busy through the shutdown. But I think with the shutdown, it taught me as a business owner things that I've done, I guess, correctly to stay ahead in Zionsville. With being my fourth salon, I don't have a lot of debt. And so I think that helped me stay, afloat and stay in business during the shutdown, because I have, some money saved back for things like this. And I guess that's in my business plan that I always try to plan ahead for things that could possibly happen. But in saying that, with the restrictions that, that was placed on us and being shut down, it affected our overall gross income. It affected all my stylists. And, it's been difficult to kind of keep that growth going, but we are doing really well. We were planning on expanding, which, is kind of on hold right now because of this past year. So I'm outgrowing the space I'm in, and thank goodness that we have recouped some of that financial burden. It's come back in, clients returning, and we're still on that path to growing. So I'm thankful for that. But in saying that, I have not received any PPP, no EIDL, no GoFundMe. I haven't received anything except for some unemployment that I didn't even get until the middle of July. So, this money would help us as far as, we've had some restrictions as far as, we had to buy new capes, we had to buy masks, we had to buy a lot of sanitation products to stay open, and we continue to have to do that. It also would help with like our products. I haven't been able to repurchase some of our products because of, we've got to kind of weigh out what's more important right now. And those are the things that I've cut back on, which creates income for us also. When I say like retail products. So right now our shelves are pretty empty. I don't want $3,000 to $5,000 worth of products sitting on my shelf when, the possibility of closing down or things like that. So those are business decisions I've had to make. But, as far as growing, and I think even if we shut down, I have some plans that, we would continue to grow and we would be okay. But us not receiving any type of income for 2 months, and like myself, no unemployment, I didn't even get that until July. So it has affected our bottom line this year.
Great. Well, thank you for that update. Any questions for Kim? Okay.
Hello.
So just to recap, the recommendation from Kimberly's hair design, the request was for $20,000, and the CDC recommendation is for $10,000. I entertain a motion to approve the $10,000 grant for.
I'll move that we approve the $10,000 grant for Kimberly's hair design.
Great. Do we have a second? Second from Colleen. Great, thank you. Roger, if you could do a roll call, please.
Yes, sir. Mr. Patel?
Yes.
Ms. Madrick? Ms. Hiddle?
Yes.
Mr. Ezra?
Yes.
Ms. Swanson?
Yes.
Great. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you all. Congratulations, Kim. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you so much, you guys. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Great, thank you. So the next one we have, Roger, is Sherry Jenkins, both NOAA grants and Salty Cowboy. Depending on, and I haven't had a chance to go through the memorandum from the CDCs, but if she would like to present both at once, that would be fine. Or if she would like to do them individually, that would be fine as well. I know they're two different establishments and two different grant applications. But if there's a similar theme on both, then we can take them both at once.
I promoted her, but she has not arrived yet.
Okay. We can move on to.
There she is.
There she is. All right.
You're on mute.
Okay. There we go. Am I here?
Yep.
Okay. I will actually do them separately.
Okay.
I thank you all for the opportunity to talk to you tonight. But because both restaurants are looking for very different reasons for the money, I think it's apropos to talk about them separately, if that's okay with you.
Sure, perfect.
Okay, so NOAA grants, I'm just looking for a boost, a help in payroll. I have made a decision to keep, and I did make a decision that payroll would be the same through 2020, as bad as 2020 was for restaurants and many other venues. So NOAA grant sales, as some of you have heard, in 2019, my payroll was 1.261294, basically $1.2 million. My payroll in 2020 was 1.216. I have made a conscious effort to keep my people paid. The difference only was about $40,000 between 2019 and 2020. And we were shut down from March, April, May. I didn't open until like mid-June. And that $40,000 difference in my payroll was basically hosts and bussers. Otherwise, everybody who's on salary, my cooks, my managers, were paid the exact same. And right now, with January and February already being a very tough month for the restaurant business, the sales are just down. They are, and that's where I'm looking for the money just to help keep payroll the same, so I don't lose anyone when this is over, which it will be. But that's what I'm looking for the money for, is to help boost payroll.
Great. Any questions for Sherry in regards to NOAA grants? All right. So the
I'll
grant,
move that we approve the 10,000 grant for NOAA grants.
It wasn't clear to me if that's how much came through from the prior council. Is that okay? Thank you. Second from Colleen.
so I have a motion and a second for approving the CDC's recommendation for a $10,000 grant. Roger, if you could do a roll call, please.
Yes, sir. Mr. Ezra?
Yes.
Ms. Hiddle?
Yes.
Ms. Madrick? Ms. Swanson?
Yes, approved.
Mr. Patel?
Yes, thank you. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Sherry.
Thank you very much. I'll go ahead and start then with Salty Cowboy, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
I'm going to, at this point, let you know. So with Salty Cowboy, it's a very different restaurant than NOAA Grants is, and it's a much smaller restaurant. It's a very different clientele. As far as Salty Cowboy focuses a lot on social media. And my manager, who is Jason Hughes, who I'm going to pass along to you here in a second, has found a rewards program that we are interested in doing because our sales at Salty, unfortunately, are significantly, they're very much down. We have very limited tables due to social distancing. And so right now, the money that we're making at Salty Cowboy is honestly from carryout sales. So Jason has come up with, or has found a rewards program that we are interested in implementing. And it's a little expensive, and that is what we are looking for this grant for. And I'm going to let, if it's okay with you, Jason take over and explain to you what this program is all about.
Great.
Hi, everybody. How are you?
Good.
So we found a company called Zinrello. They're a loyalty rewards program that focuses on, it's like a multi-dimensional rewards program. The end goal, like Sherry had mentioned, most of our sales are coming from carry-out sales, is to, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but when we do DoorDash and Grubhub, they take a percentage of the food sales. So the goal in this loyalty rewards program is to kind of drive our customers to order from our website and get rewarded for doing so in a multi-tier way versus ordering from DoorDash. So it would save us that 20% of the food cost that's going to DoorDash, and hopefully that stays in our pocket. And then we reward the customers as well for having to possibly go out of their way to go pick up the food or just order from us instead of doing the convenience of a DoorDash or Grubhub. So customers are rewarded on not only just ordering food from our website, but if they write a review on their experience, they also have the opportunity to gain another 200 bonus points. Or if they share what they ordered on from our website, they get another 200 points. If they add an extra queso dip or a salsa to their order, an extra 50 bonus points. If they kind of go out of their way to post a photo of what they got, they get an extra 500 bonus points. So it's a multi-tiered dimensional rewards program that I think would not only benefit us, but it would also benefit the customers as well for taking the time to order from our website versus a third party like DoorDash or Grubhub.
Sanjay, I would just say that, at Cobblestone, we had to stop all of the extra companies, the Grubhubs and the DoorDashes, just because they take too much money. And it just is not profitable at all, and especially during the COVID. So I would absolutely, I think it's a great idea what they got going there.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Great.
Do you guys have any other questions?
So I'm not familiar with Zinrello. Who in the indie market is using this platform?
So I was actually contacted by a friend who kind of works in this realm, and he doesn't live in the Indy area, but he suggested this company. They're actually usually focused on large corporations. So I think UPS, Salesforce, it's kind of like I think Starbucks is one of the companies that use this brand as well. It's like their Star Rewards program that Starbucks uses, but they just started shifting because of COVID into the smaller small businesses. So I think we might be one of the first companies in Indy to be trying this out. So I would be excited to see how this goes in our area, but I'm kind of excited.
Is the software as a service? Is there a flat fee and then a recurring fee, or what's the economics of it?
Yep. So based on what you choose, there's different levels, but they do have, it's a one-time fee. It's an upfront fee of $4,500 annually. And then the more that you want them to get integrated into the background of everything, I guess the behind the scenes, you kind of have to pay up for that. But just for a basic level starting program for our restaurant size, it's a $4,500 annual upfront fee. And then that is it. And then the more we would add on to it, if anything, then that would just be a monthly thing. the rewards program itself would be through our website. So customers they wouldn't have to pay anything to order from our website. There'd be no fee to use just ordering from saltycowboy.com. But it would just all be on us.
Great. Any additional questions? Okay.
I'll move that we approve the $10,000 for Salty Cowboy.
Second.
A motion and a second. Thank you. Roger, if you could do a roll call, please.
Yes. Ms. Madrick, and again, you're on mute.
That's why we're not getting your second, Cindy.
So sorry about that. Yes.
Ms. Hiddle,
Yes.
Ms. Swanson,
Yes.
Mr. Ezra,
Yes.
Mr. Patel.
Yes, thank you. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you both for the information and your presentations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good luck.
And we love having you in the village. Thank you.
Yeah, that's great.
We appreciate this very much. Thank you so much.
Have a good night. Okay, we have another one.
I am promoting Andrea Fortney of Chevo Salon and Spa. There we
Welcome.
go.
Thank you for joining us this evening.
I don't think they've found their button yet.
No, they're kind of
Yeah,
still.
the-
Yes, sir. It shows we're on.
Yep,
You're
we
on.
hear you.
Oh, perfect.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you? Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you for having us. Want to start?
Should I start?
Share a
Yes.
little bit about your business and how you'd use the need and use for the grant funds.
Yes. So Chris and I opened Chevo at 10 North Main Street 8 years ago. We absolutely love the location that we are in. It's amazing to be on the Brick Street. With the pandemic happening, it just put a huge dent in everything that we have basically saved for from the salon. So, you know, we were closed for almost 2 months and we just took a huge hit on that. So, you know, if we were to receive this grant, we would use it for rent and utilities. We would use it to basically restock our shelves. We carry 2 product lines in the salon and our shelves are a little low right now, definitely. So is our color line. We carry 2 color lines and that, you know, I am just basically carrying the bare minimum right now. You know, we've also had to spend money on the PP for the, like, giving extra masks out and extra disinfecting. And, you know, we've had to go in there and do extra cleaning. So I would also like to update my website. We have not updated that since May of 2019, just because that's, you know, extra money that I felt like I could not spend. So we have spoke to a gentleman who is up above Rosie's to help us with our website. And that is roughly about $3,000 to do that. And it also is about $200 a month to upkeep that. So, you know, I just feel like it would be, if we received the money, I think that it would be just extremely helpful and a really nice little security for us to stay at the location that we're at.
Great. Any questions from council?
What's the amount of the grant? Sorry, Sanjay.
Their request is $10,000 and the CDC's recommendation is for $10,000.
So moved. Colleen.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Great, thank you. Roger, could you do a roll call, please?
Yes. Mr. Patel,
Yes.
Ms. Hiddle,
Yes, thank you.
Ms. Swanson,
Yes.
Ms. Madrick. I'm sorry, you're on mute again.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Ezra?
Yes.
Thank you.
Great. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you all. Congratulations, Chris and Andrea.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate everything you've helped with here.
Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Finally, for new business, we have.
I have a quick, Sanjay, I have a quick question. Remind me the economics of these future grants. Do we have a budget?
Right. So Wayne, I'll let you, if you could, give the details on the RDC's budget and the budget for these grants with the CDC.
Yes, so your RDC budget, as we set it up last year, with $250,000 in your line item for grants, and then we pulled out additional incentive dollars for very specific projects. For example, March of this year, you'll have $100,000 that's due to be paid to Group 1001 based on an assignment agreement on the original LIDS transaction. So that's just to pay out on some of an incentive item that has a shelf life, and we'll look to fulfill our obligations there. Now, with that answer of your budget, we will also be working through some reporting items that we do in the first quarter, as we typically do, and that might change some things a little bit in dollars and cents to see what's available for the remainder of the year. But right now, everything looks healthy. We just like to make sure we're in good shape for 2021.
Thanks.
Good question. Wayne, can you provide an update on Creekside Corporate Park, lots 10 and 11?
Certainly. And speaking with that development team who has the lots 10, 11 tied up, they continue to chase their prospect, and we continue to support their efforts. We've had conversations of late, and certainly look to have an opportunity, I would say, late February, to hopefully get in front of the prospect and have some additional conversations. Initially for me, but certainly for the development team, additional conversations, and certainly we'll look to just move on or double down, whatever works out best in this chase.
And just as a reminder, we did not provide a term sheet, and we did not we were not required to lock down the property for the 60 days we had initially discussed, correct?
I believe we have a 45-day window that was extendable. I don't remember the details offhand, but yes, there was a lot greater flexibility than the last time, and we certainly commend the broker. Certainly the relationship with that particular broker has grown over the last 6 months or so.
Right. Okay. Any questions for Wayne regarding lots 10, 11? Okay. Any other new business?
I don't have a new business for you, just a quick update on the Zionsville Gateway area. That project continues to move forward. This group helped financially with that opportunity, and the project continues on. Something that we might want to think about in the future is some potential renderings for Lot 9 in Creekside. Certainly, depending on how the ZGA takes shape, there might be some opportunities to expand that thought process of users in the gateway. Potentially, Lot 9 might play a neat role in that. And certainly, as we think about that conversation, some hopefully simple drawings to help folks imagineer what they can see there might be a benefit. So just a future conversation, but wanted to throw that out there this evening.
Great. Thank you. Any questions for Wayne or Roger from our group? Hearing none, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right. Motion. That's good enough. All right.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank
See
you
you in
all.
a month.
Thank you.